Hello, vanakkam. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will continue with our competitive exam preparation series. This will be part 2, and here we will look at preparing to study for a specific topic, any topic. So this will be divided into this is a broad overview. Okay, we will go into more nuances of studies like later in later videos, but it is just how you would approach studying one topic. Like if you have a class or if you are going to study by yourself, how do you approach it? That is all we are going to look at today, and this will be in 3 parts. So before, during, and at the end. These are the 3 things that we will look at. Like this is just to optimize and make our study a bit more efficient, preparing for this specific topic, any topic. This can be whatever it is that you want to study today. So suppose you have a class for this topic today. Maybe you are going for coaching classes and you are attending this class. That is one scenario. Another scenario is that you don't have coaching. You are just going to start studying in this one particular topic for the very first time today using your book. This is the second scenario. So in this particular method that I am proposing, this can be used for either scenario. Whether you have a formal class or whether you are going to approach this all by yourself using your own study material. The first step, this is called prepping. Now, before you even start studying, before you even open your book or go to this class, what we can do to improve our understanding is to prepare this topic. This is basically a brief overview of what this topic is all about. For this, you can maybe watch a quick video on it, or if you are like more into that kind of a knowledge, or you can just get a brief summarized key points and understandings of this. These days we have tools like ChatGPT which you can use. You can just enter this topic and ask it to tell you the key concepts and key points, what are the major things and what is the major timeline involved, or whatever, depending on the topic. You can just ask it to summarize and tell you the basic points. So why do you need this? This is just to create the foundation so that you will know, you're conceptually understanding this is what you're going to explore in depth. It is always good to have the foundational concepts intact before we go in depth into any topic. So when you are studying for a competitive exam, you will probably want to learn the topic in detail, right? You will want to know all the nuances, the entirety of the history of it, and what is the current state, what is the future probabilities, what are the practical applications and issues. Depending on the topic, you will want to know all of these things. So what I would suggest is you start by having just this basic idea so that the topic is not completely alien to you. Even if you are familiar with the topic, it is good to still get this broad overview. Like for example, you may have learned a little bit of it in like class, in school maybe, but you have forgotten it because we probably went to school long ago and we don't remember everything that was taught at that time. So just this brief capsule form of things, it will just give you the broad idea. It will not give you any of the nuances, and this is not going to help you score high, but the idea is that your brain will be prepared to capture knowledge. It will give you concepts, it will give you clarity, and it will give you some idea of what to expect. Also, you will know which are the important things that you don't understand well, which you need to pay more attention to, and which are the topics in which you have questions or you need more information, which are the things you understand well and you can go into greater nuance. So you have to understand the initial preparation. So once you have this thing done and then you sit in class or then you go and start your own reading, it will act like a double thing for you. Like இப்போ நம்ம already வாசிச்சதுக்கு ஒரு reinforcement இருக்கும். It will be like a in detail reinforcement of what you have just read. So this preparation will help you. This is not just for competitive exams. Any general schoolwork or college work irundhalum, if you're going to spend like 5 to 10 minutes, 5 minutes in fact, just preparing for a topic before you start class, நாளைக்கு இந்த சாப்டர் தான் அடுத்து வரப்போகுதுன்னு தெரிஞ்சா, இப்போ if you just go through it in briefly, if ஒரு டெக்னாலஜிக்கல் ChatGPT பார்க்க முடியலன்னா கூட, at least if you just go through the papers in brief and note the key ideas, key concepts என்னங்கிறது மட்டும் புரிஞ்சிச்சாலே, that will help you look at this concept better and understand it better. Fresher teacher சொல்லும்போது கேட்டாலுமே or if you are reading it for the first time, some of it may not go in well. So preparation பண்ணி second time when you are hearing it, you are more likely to understand in depth. அதனால தான் prepping is important. Now during the class, we'll come to during the study, actual reading of the topic or during class, there are two approaches to it. Some people would go for note making. If you are sitting in a class, it is very convenient to just make notes. If you're studying on your own, now it is up to you. Most people will make notes. Some of you may not. And they may like to just note things down in the textbook itself, like underline the key things or like பாயிண்ட் அதிலே குட்டிண்டு நோட் பண்ணுறது, ஜஸ்ட் ஹைலைட் பண்ணிட்டு எழுதுறதா இருக்கலாம். whichever is your strategy, you can follow it. Now making notes, my suggestion is your notes needn't be this. நிறைய பேர் நான் என்ன பார்த்துருக்கேன்னா, அவங்க ஹைலைட்டரு, பென்னு, பேப்பரு, ஸ்கேல் எல்லாம் வச்சு பெரிய அழகான நோட் ப்ரிப்ரேஷன்லேயே டைம் போயிடும். For me, that is a waste of time and your resources, which is better spent elsewhere. நீங்கள் டைட்டிலுக்கு பர்பிள் இங்க்கும் ரெகுலர் எழுதுறதுக்கு ப்ளூ இங்க்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிற டைமில் இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஸ்பெண்டிங் மோர் டைம் இன் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் தட் வில் பி மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அழகான நோட் வச்செல்லாம் மார்க் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. வாட் யூ நீட் இஸ் இட் ஷுட் பி லெஜிபிள், கிளியர் and point as much as possible bullet points. This note should be like, it should not be another textbook. எல்லாமே திருப்பி ஒரு தடவை படிக்கிறதுக்காக இந்த நோட் ஷுட் நாட் பி லைக் திஸ் ஹெஃப்டி டாக்குமெண்ட். அது நோட்ஸ் மீன்ஸ் கன்சைஸாக இருக்கணும், பாயிண்ட்டாக இருக்கணும். இப்போ ஒரு விஷயம் இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதோட பேசிக் பாயிண்ட்ஸ், வாட் ஹேப்பன் பிஃபோர், வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் நவ், வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் த ஃபியூச்சர் ஆர் தி டைம் லைன் வைஸ் இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டாக இருக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள். Practically, what are the applications now, what are potential applications in the future, that may be another thing. Controversies if any, problems if any, potential resolutions if any. இதெல்லாம் depending on the context, some of it may not be relevant. அது என்னங்கிறத பார்த்து you have to, and examples, geographical location டைப் பண்ணுறதா இருந்தால் அது, current affairs relations இருந்துச்சுன்னா what are the recent newஸில் இது எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்தது, those things. Dates, important dates இருந்தால் you can just mark those dates if you need to remember those dates. எல்லா விஷயங்களுக்கும் டேட் தேவையில்லை, but some things if dates are important அது என்னங்கிறது. And then another thing is small diagrams if possible. Understand, easy understand பண்ணிக்கிறதுக்கு உங்களாலே இந்த small diagram, chart or bar or whatever, this may help you visually. அதை ட்ரிகர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுற மாதிரி what can be done, அந்த மாதிரி note can be made. As you are studying itself, as you are listening to class, you can make notes. This is just for your preparation. Just during studies or note. This will help you for your revisions later on. Illama, this cannot be like your authentic, complete, detailed document. Over full sentence ella alaga எழுத்து போட்டு வைக்கிறணும். See, if you want to make those notes, nobody is stopping you. But if you can do that and still be efficient by utilizing time better in other ways, then nobody is stopping you. பட் இன்கேஸ் இதுவும் எல்லாம் சேர்த்து உங்களுக்கு டைம் கன்சியூமிங்காக வர மாதிரி இருந்ததுன்னா, note can be just bullet points and it needn't be like in detail. They are supposed to be notes, not textbooks. So அதுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி, this is for your understanding. This is not to show off, not to show to people. This is for you to understand better. It should be legible and it should be clear. And ideally note should be a dynamic document. Like later on you will learn more about it. So இதற்கு கொஞ்சம் space should be there for you to add into it. Later ஒரு current affairs வரலாம், development வரலாம், so you should be able to add into it. If you are using as pages, it is very easy. You can just add another page to it. But if you are using an actual notebook, either you have to index it and say that continued in page whatever and then write in the next at the end page இதில் இருந்து and continued from page whatever போட்டுட்டு அதில் புதுசாக. So note should be a dynamic thing. It should not be a chaotic mess. And topic wise notes can be arranged. This is for people who do make notes. And then while you're listening, try to engage in active listening. That சும்மா வேறு ஏதோ ஒரு விஷயத்தில் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணாமல் when you are being taught or when you are studying 100% அதிலே ஃபோக்கஸ் கொடுத்து இந்த கான்செப்ட் என்ன, am I understanding it? If you don't understand it, please ask the teacher to clarify again. And if you don't understand this, please read again. And இது புரியலைன்னா வேறொரு புக் எடுத்து வச்சு வாசிங்க. அதுவும் புரியலைன்னா go to YouTube. இந்த காலத்தில் எல்லா டாப்பிக்லும் வீடியோஸ் இருக்குது. see a video on it. அப்பவும் புரியலனா ஆஸ்க் ஃபார் சம்மரிஸ் ஃப்ரம் ChatGPT or யூஸ் those tools. இப்போ ஸ்டடிங்க்கு நிறைய டூல்ஸ் இருக்குது. ஸோ leverage any one of these tools and make it easiest எடுங்க. Now last part, which is post studying of this topic. First thing you need to do is immediate recall. Immediate recall என்னன்னா ஒரு டாபிக் முடிஞ்ச உடனே படிப்பு கிளாஸ் முடிஞ்ச உடனே you remember the points without looking at your notes, without looking at anything. You just try to remember what are the key points, key definitions enna, important dates enna, timeline eppadi, idoda concept enna, examples ennandrathu try to remember it without looking at notes. Once you remember everything, then go back and read the notes, see what you missed out, and after reading it you again try to recall everything. Appo konjam kuda detail better you will be able to tell everything. This is just the initial recall, that is just to enhance your studies. இப்போ உங்கள் நோட்டில் இருந்து you are recalling something and then you are able to remember it and tell it, okay, நான் இதுதான் இன்றைக்கி படித்தேன், so I am able to understand these concepts, so I know these concepts அப்படின்னு you will have a better idea, better clarity on what is happening. இதுக்கப்புறம் once you have studied this, இதுக்கு multiple layerல you need to revise it. Obviously you have to keep coming back to it. அப்போ இது practice பண்ணணும். One of the best ways to do it is to have a practical quiz. இப்போ நிறைய online app and websites are there. You can tell them the topic and they will generate practice tests for you. ஆர் இப்போ ஒரு வீடியோ லிங்க் இருக்குது, யூடியூப்ல இருந்து படிச்சுட்டிங்க, அந்த வீடியோ லிங்க் அதில் கொடுத்துட்டிங்கன்னா அதை பேஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு ப்ராக்டிஸ் கொஷின்ஸ், மல்டிபிள் சாய்ஸ் கொஷின்ஸ் கொடுக்குற மாதிரி வெப்சைட் எல்லாம் இருக்குது. யூ கேன் யூஸ் ஒன் குவிக் ப்ராக்டிஸ் டெஸ்ட், ஜஸ்ட் மல்டிபிள் சாய்ஸ் டெஸ்ட் கூட இந்த மாதிரி ஜெனரேட் பண்ணிவிட்டு யூ கேன் see the conceptual clarity. Or you can ask even AI tools like ChatGPT can make a quiz for you. You can tell it in the topic like quiz me on this அப்படின்னு கேட்டுட்டாங்கன்னா it will generate quiz for you. So leverage all of these tools available to you. நான் படித்த காலத்தில் இந்த மாதிரி டூல் எல்லாம் கிடையாது. So we have to make our own tests. Since you have these tools already to help you, use them. அதுக்கப்புறம் the next way to go is like past papers இந்த டாப்பிக்கில் என்னென்ன கொஷின்ஸ் வந்துச்சுன்னு you can take that and try to answer that. Then keep on revising, keep on adding to it. Whenever something new comes up, connect back to it. வேறு ஏதோ டாப்பிக்கில் வேறு ஏதோ சப்ஜெக்டில் கூட ரிலேட்டிவ் ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்துச்சுன்னா pull back to it and connect it, and அந்த மாதிரி make linkages so that அதில் ஒரு கொஷினை கேட்டாங்கன்னா you can make that answer even better by referencing this topic. ஒரு இதில் கேட்டாங்கன்னா you can make it even better by referencing that. அப்போ you need to understand and improve your answers accordingly. இதுதான் post, and then revision has to happen multiple times. Retention will only improve, that neural pathways get stronger when you use them more often. However frequently you access a memory, அத்தனை ஸ்ட்ராங்காக அந்த நியூரல் pathway will be there. If you never access a memory, it's not going to come back. So repeat பண்ணிகிட்டே இருங்க. repeat it until you cannot get it wrong. ஒரு தடவை ரைட் ஆகிற வரைக்கும் ரிப்பீட் பண்ணாமல் repeat it until you cannot get it wrong. எப்போ கேட்டாலும் இந்த தூக்கத்தில் எந்திரிச்சு கேட்டாலும் ஞாபகம் வர மாதிரி you have to know that topic. That is the way to study a topic thoroughly and properly. So I hope this was of use to you, and use this to study your next topic and stay on top of your game. All the very best for your exams. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.